Hi folks! Thanks for joining us on this video. If you're new here, I'm Willie.
And I'm Sarah.
We're a musician and artist, and we recently sold our suburban home to move to a tiny, nearly 200-year-old cottage on the Isle of Skye in the Scottish Highlands with our dog, Jack Spaniels.
We're back with a normal episode this week, or as normal as we get on the Skye Life.
With the shed build complete, we didn't hesitate to begin the conversion of our 200-year-old byre or outbuilding.
Plus we take a trip to Willie's hometown.
And find out what happened when disaster struck and a nearby stream burst its banks straight into our property.
Join us as we continue.
Living the Skye Life. If you've been following our shed build, you'll know that we made the shed to accommodate our tools, bikes and other belongings that don't need to be in the house, but mainly so we could convert our 200-year-old stone byre or outbuilding into a working art and music studio for Sarah, Jack Spaniels and I. You may remember me moving the centre partition and the old storage racks at the back of the byre. Then reusing all of that wood to construct a log store. Well, with the shed now complete, it's time to focus on our biggest project yet, converting the byre into our dream studios. So let's jump back into the byre conversion.
Believe it or not, this is halfway through emptying the byre. There's still a lot of stuff to go in the shed.
And we've got to do it in an hour because Richard's coming to take the roof off. Well, I say he's coming to do it. We're going to take the roof off, put down a membrane to stop the water getting through. But before we do that, like Sarah said, all this has got to come out.
That's the pile of stuff to go to the tip and be recycled. But this stuff we need to deal with.
All that wood there, I'm going to cut that up and we're going to burn that in the log fire in the house. Or in the fire pit, either or. The stuff up here, I'm just going to leave that in here. That's bags of cement that are covered in old juicing bags and the cement that we're using for this job today, because we're having to put a bit of cement on that bit of the roof there, which I'll show you outside in a minute. But it's so big and it's so echoey. La la! Nice. This is the concrete bit that I mean, where the metal joins. We're going to have to cut that so we can get the roof off and then cement it back on again once we're done. Thankfully, it's only at one end of the roof. The other end has got the metal instead, so we can take that off much easier. And here we are in the shed. Everything's put away nicely, including my new drum kit. Put away as nicely as I can get it for the time being anyway. There's still lots of space in here. And then the tools that we're going to be using in the next few days and weeks are all here. It's our first intro from the shed, not building the shed, because we've already done that. Today we start taking the roof off the byre.
Yes.
Looking forward to it?
Yes, so.
Doesn't look that much of an exciting job, but or maybe exciting but slightly scary. Anyway, it's got to be done, so let's start doing that. It was time to cut and partly break off the cement seal on the eave to access the corrugated steel underneath it. After Richard had made the cut, it was my job to smash the concrete with a hammer and a pry bar to remove it.
Mr. Jack Spaniels, building site is not a place for you. And to remove you from the premises.
I've just taken off that concrete on the end. Richard cut it and I pulled it off, and now he's chucking down these fixings because we'll be using it to put the roof back on once we've got the membrane on. First up, it was time to remove the metal sheets. Then we nailed on extra horizontal joists to accommodate the breathable roofing membrane.
Hi! You been helping?
As you can see, it's a bit more breezy in here now because there's no roof. Well, no roof tin anyway. Richard's going to have to get some roofing nails, and I am going to get rid of some nails as well because there's nails sticking through the rafters. I'm going to cut them off with an angle grinder because they'll probably just rip the membrane that we put up. We don't want that, so I'm going to cut them now. These are probably from the partition that was in, that I took out a couple of weeks ago now. So I thought at the time I'd cut them, and this is me finally getting around to it with everything else that's been going on. Just looking around to see if there's any more. And there are. If I spot any more, I'll cut them as well. Well, that's all the ones I can see for now. Next, Richard nailed the strips of membrane to the new joists we'd just put in place. With the membrane now in place, we had to put the metal sheets back on, otherwise the roof would be too vulnerable to Skye's wildly variable weather conditions. Okay, so we've got half the roof taken off now, and we've got the breather membrane in, and then we've put half the roof back on again, and we've still got the rest to do, but that's going to happen hopefully tomorrow. Nice work,
Yeah.
Ryan. Superb.
Job's a good one.
We're in the car.
We're going back to Kirkcaldy to see my parents because they're missing us. My mum was due to come up here, but they weren't able to come up, so we're going to go down there instead. So we're taking a little bit of time out from our Skye life to go back to our Fife life.
Apologies for the video quality, because when we go over the potholes it gets a bit shaky.
Yeah.
Last week, glorious weather, and now we're on the move again, and it is somewhere between hail and snow.
Snow, yeah.
Lambing snow, because the lambs have started popping up
Oh, yeah,
all around us.
That's what our neighbour said actually. He says as soon as the lambs start coming out, it'll start snowing.
Yep,
And
they
he
were
was
right.
absolutely spot on.
We'll head back to Fife, and we might show you a bit of Willie's hometown.
Pothole chaos. Oh no.
Is he gonna get round them? Whoa!
Oh dear. Oh, I felt that in my aura.
Sun's come out, and Willie doesn't have any sunglasses,
No.
so he's wearing mine. Just driving into Spaniels Bridge now, which is our normal stopping off point on the drive between Fife and Skye.
It's grand.
The Bridge Cafe.
Yep.
We like it a lot, and Jack always gets a treat. Time for a break. Excited? Are you excited, puppy dog?
What about you, Jack? Are you cold? This is one of Jack's favourite places because he gets to get out of the car and run about and chew on sticks and swim in the water, don't you, pups? Let's go and check out the viewpoint, everyone. How long is it before Jack follows up? The answer is not long. As Mum goes anywhere, Jack has to follow. That's just the rules. Do you want to go to Fife then? Right, it's time to carry on. Let's keep going. On my top half, I've got on a t-shirt, a hoodie, a really thick winter fleece, and a waterproof. I'm still freezing. And considering that a couple of days ago it was so warm, we were sitting around in t-shirts. Scotland for you. And now, a full 1 minute later, the sun has come out and it's lovely and warm. Coming up to the border for the Highlands now, and normally as we used to drive north we would go yay when we crossed the Highlands border, but now we're driving south. Does that mean they would go no or like boo or something? I don't know, let's see what happens because we're about to cross it, so it'll just be like
It'll come organically to us.
Organically, yeah. I mean, it used to be a thing because when we were driving north and meant adventures, it's not because we hate the south, it's just because we were going on our holidays usually, so it was like yeah, we're on holiday. But now, I don't know, I guess if we're driving south we have to go boo. That's the Highlands sign, and this is the sign that says welcome to Perth and Kinross, so we're just about to cross. Boo!
Fun times on the A9.
We're not even in Perth yet, and we're stuck in a traffic jam. What are those? I don't like it.
We get traffic jams.
Sheep don't count. Can we go back to Skye now, please? We're just pulling into Kirkcaldy. And we decided to stop for a minute just to show you something. This time of the year there is a fun fair that comes to town called the Links Market, and actually its origins were in the medieval period, but it's far from that now. But we're not going to go there because Jack and busy fun fairs is not a good combo, so we'll just show you on the drone, so enjoy.
The origins of the Links Market go back to 1304, making it over 700 years old, the oldest street fair in Scotland. It is also the longest street fair in Europe, as it stretches along the mile-long seafront of Kirkcaldy. Nowadays, the week-long event attracts between 200 to 300,000 visitors every year.
Until the noises stop.
I start singing. There we go. Right. I think he knows where he is.
Well, it is a beautiful sunny day in Kirkcaldy. I've just been at the retail park getting stocked up on a bunch of things that we needed, including lots of food for Jack. And now I'm going to pop to Kirkcaldy High Street just to see what's in the charity shops there and maybe a few other things that I've forgotten that we needed. I will take you with me. I'll show you Kirkcaldy High Street. Always a Wetherspoons. Like many high streets in the UK, this used to be a really busy place, but sadly a lot of the shops now sit empty, as more and more businesses move online or to places like the retail park. There are 3 charity shops on Skye that we know about, but it's nice to visit the ones in a bigger town, as there are lots more bargains to be had. sushi for dinner. I'm very excited about this.
I am. I haven't had sushi for a while.
Only until you make me some fresh sea trout sushi.
Yeah, I can do that.
But we need to figure out what to do for the seaweed and get some sushi rice. But we're going to try and do Skye Life sushi. But
This is for me.
Oh, yeah. You said you didn't want any.
I know.
It's a couple of days later and we're about to head back to Skye. We've had quite a productive couple of days.
Yep.
Did lots of errands, mowed the grass.
Yeah, fixed the shower, did all the stuff in the greenhouse. Got a lot done for them, which is always good just to do for them when we're down visiting. And they got to see Jack, which is the real reason we were actually there.
Yeah.
And now, of course, we're in McDonald's car park waiting for some McDonald's, which is our guilty pleasure when we're not on Skye.
I did the messages this morning. Is that what it's called?
Messages in Scotland, just going for your shopping in the supermarket's called the messages.
It's really confusing if you're English and someone asks you.
Going for my messages.
Did a big food shop in the Aldi, got lots of nice stuff and some bottles of wine that you like.
True, and I got a new fishing rod because I closed my fishing rod in the car door and it broke. So,
Because of midges.
because I was getting eaten alive by midges, and I've just been getting by. I fixed the rod myself, so it's fine. I mean, it works, but it's like this much shorter than it should be. So I got a new one, which is in the back there.
And most exciting of all, we got ourselves a new coffee machine.
We always said when we were grown ups.
When we're grown up
Yeah.
and we've got our own place in the Highlands, we'll
Yeah.
get a proper coffee machine. And now
We are.
that's happened. We're apparently grown ups.
Yeah,
So we've got a proper grown up coffee machine.
proper with a handle.
Very excited.
Yeah.
It's been a good trip. We'll get our food and then we'll be on the road and we'll be back home in no time.
Well, hopefully.
In no time in the video. It'll take us quite a while. Jack is all settled in, ready for his long journey.
Sarah and I had struck a deal whereby she would make me a coffee in the new machine the morning after the trip to Fife, on the proviso that I did all the driving. Plus, I've never really gotten along with the concept of reading instruction manuals anyway, so probably best that she did it.
Sounds like someone's up.
I was wondering why my coffee delivery was taking too long. Like in a latte.
I'm focusing on the coffee first. This is right.
We have coffee.
This is just what I learned in Wetherspoons, so good luck. Look at that beautiful abstract latte art.
Looks like it was made by a seagull. Seagull latte.
There we go, the first coffees from our grown-up coffee machine. What's the review?
It just tastes like we're at a cafe.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's good, I think.
I'm a barista now.
You're a barista, sister. Hello, okay, it's day 2 of the byre build. Richard's back, proving that he doesn't always wear Husqvarna clothes. Anyway, looking forward to this, getting the roof finished and getting on with the project.
Get it done.
Get it done. Richard set about removing the metal sheets, as I broke and removed the remaining concrete seal from this side of the eave. Okay, that's the roof off this side now, and at the end of that was that concrete I was smashing. It was much harder than yesterday. The concrete was harder. I've got a feeling there was more cement in it, but hey ho, I got there in the end. Well done, man.
Somebody was taking their time.
Yeah, I took far too long, sorry about that. And there's the kit that we're going to be putting back on after lunch. You can now see the cottage through the byre and up the hill as well. Next up, we're going to put these dwangs across the top to nail the membrane onto, as we did on the other side. So I'll do that on a time lapse now. So we set about cutting and nailing on the new joists. Then it was time for more breathable membrane. the second section of the roof's steel sheets were replaced. That's day 2, done. We're both very tired. Hard going today, eh? Richard's going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to have a cup of vitamin tea, if you know what I mean.
That was a good one.
Yeah, man. I'm in Richard's car and it's time to return the favour of him building for us. He's taken me to a building site today. I can't film today because it's not my property. You're not allowed to do that without the owner's permission. I don't have it.
And they don't want to see a real cowboy at work.
What, you mean?
Aye.
Looking forward to having me on this building job.
Well, it needs must, you know. Repayment and all that, you know, and just have to put up your rubbish all day, like, you know.
Oh, thanks, man. Alright, off to work, here we go. It's a cold and rainy day here on Skye and it's Monday. We've got Ian coming this Sunday to start work in a week today. There's some things that need doing before he gets here and one of them is repointing the walls. Even if floor is an issue in some parts of the byre, most of it has been concreted. Some of the floor is just exposed earth, so I'm going to fix that as well where I can. We're building a room inside a room, so I don't have to be overly fastidious, but I do have to make sure things like rodents can't climb underneath. Let's take a look at the walls that I'll be repairing today. This is the front of the byre, so this has all been done recently. That's fine, I don't have to worry about that. Plus there's a relatively new concrete floor there, so that's all fine. It's the back that I'm dealing with today. Check that out. Who knows what's been living in there, but it needs repairing. As does this whole wall. As does that wall, and also the wall behind me. All needs fixing. It's a big job, and I need to get on. So why not join me? So here's what I'll be using. The mortar, big bucket to mix it in, bucket of water from the barn, and some stones that I found around the property and in the barn. And then over here, this is where I'm going to fill in the bottom first, before I start the walls. So there's concrete all the way around here. It's literally just this little trough here that is missing, so that's all I'm filling. I don't need to concrete the entire floor as we're building a floor structure above it. Plus, if water does get in, it won't hurt to have some of the original earth floor here to let it drain away naturally. To save mortar, I'm going to use some of the resources at my hands, which is the stone that was already in the byre. Stone is free, mortar is expensive. More mortar needed, so I'll mix that now. Hi Jack. Jack thinks we're playing a game. He always thinks we're playing a game. Sometimes we are. Most of the time I'm just working on the house. Right, happy with that. That's 2 patches done. There's one over there as well, which I'll do next. Already run out of mortar. Need some more. That's a whole bag down already. This is going to be a lot of mortar I'm going to use today. Right then, that'll do for now. Time to get on with the walls. I'm not entirely sure what this is. I think it might be for like tethering animals to the wall or something. Not sure, but it's just twisted wire, so I'll take it off. Well, my wee work light, which you plug in and charge, has run out of batteries, but that's not the main problem. I've also run out of mortar. So I decided to call time and pick it up the next day. I'm back in the byre to finish the repointing. Jack's out here with me though, running around my feet, getting in the way as he usually does, bless him. So yeah, let's get this done. I had a fair amount of cement left over, plus I found a few bags of sand in the byre that belonged to the previous owner, so I decided to use them instead of driving to Portree to buy more mortar. Now I do realise that lime mortar is better for this type of building, but I haven't got a clue where I'd get hold of it on the island, plus the sand and cement, well, they were free. I stopped the time lapse to show you something. This corner, check this out. I've now filled that with cement because there was 3 loose stones in there. So now I've taken them out and I've completely made a bed of cement. I'm going to put the stones back in. I also found this, which I think is the remnants of a very, very old bird's nest. As you can see, it's properly mangled. It's not something that's been used in the last 20 years. But the main problem is, now I have to reset this, and this, and this. Oh yeah, actually 4 stones. Let's build that little wall back. It's a good job I remember the exact order they were in. Cool, right, well that's a lot better than it was anyway. That was 4 loose stones in a bird's nest. Much better order than it was anyway. Well, I've got quite a lot of that done now and I'm pleased with it. I've still got a bit to go, but you've seen quite a lot of that now. So as far as pointing goes, I guess you get the point. But what started as repointing turned out to be building walls. Because this part here, you can see where it all is wet there. That is all brand new, I've just put that in. This was the first one that I found. The section from here all the way over to there. When you watch these TV shows and they're saying things like, oh, when you start renovating an old building, you keep finding new things you've got to fix. Yes, they're telling the truth, you do. You keep finding new things that you've got to fix. This is what it's looking like now. I'm really getting somewhere with it, but it is taking a long time. It's probably going to take a couple more days in here, but I do feel like I'm making progress, which is great. So yeah, this is a big project. It's taken a long time. I am enjoying it and I can't wait until it's done. Let's get on, eh? Finish that roof.
Day 3 of the roof. Get it finished.
It was time for the end section, the final part of the roof, to have its steel sheets removed and membrane added. There we have it. The paper is wrapped right around the roof, you could say, and that's a wrap. You can see there the membrane, the breather membrane all the way around. It looks great, and it completely is waterproof because we found out yesterday with the seriously heavy rains. Time to put the tin back on the roof. And then the final sheets of steel were replaced over the completed membrane to make a fully waterproof and, very importantly, condensation-proof roof. This is the last piece of roof that's going back up. We're reusing the screws because, well, obviously it's better for the environment apart from anything else to use old things again. But some of them sort of break and I'll have to go up with a pair of pliers, pulling them off, and unfortunately right on the last piece of roof it's happened again. And it's done! Hooray! Woo! Get down off this roof.
Now don't fall off.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Roof off, roof back on. Round of applause. Sarah's filming or she would be clapping. Well done, man. Nice one. Then it was time to tackle the concrete eave seal. First we built a wooden frame, then mixed and applied the concrete to recreate the seal. Fast forward 24 hours and the wooden structure was removed. There we have it. The roof is now watertight again. This part will go lighter. There's still water in there, it's set, but there's still water in there that you can see, so it's darker. And this obviously is lighter because it's old, but I'm going to paint the whole thing in the future, but it's not a job for right now. Just now, I'm just happy that the roof is completely watertight again, which is just as well because it's just started raining. Okay, so the shed is done and the roof is back on the byre. We've got the membrane under there. This man is an absolute legend. He's totally helped us out massively. We couldn't have done it without you, man. You are a legend, thank you. Yeah. Nice one, man.
Helps out friends, you know.
That's it. Cheers, buddy. And if you need any help with anything,
yeah.
If you need anything wrecked, come with me.
This is the outside. And this is the inside.
It's a nightmare.
Uh-oh.
The roof is completely and utterly drip-free. So that's completely worked. The roof's fine. It's just, this is not fine.
We have a water feature.
Look, it's coming through the wall.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Oh,
we need to sort
man.
this out.
Yeah, we need to repoint outside as well. I thought it was just coming down the wall. It's not. It's coming under the wall. So I've just repointed all that. It's coming up through the concrete on the floor, and it's coming through the wall here. So there must be a big pool at the back of this wall. Let's go check it out. Are you filming this?
Yeah.
This is a new branch of the river. Yeah, look here. Right, so what I'm going to do is going to have to try and get that from happening. Build some sort of dam.
Ready to go back out into the storm and the flood. As you can see, a lot of the water was already running down the field next to us, but some was also flowing right down our drive and pooling in the garden. Willie started digging a trench to try and divert the water away, but there was still lots of water running down the side of the byre. We knew that we needed sandbags to divert the flow, but we had just used that sand to make mortar for repointing the byre. We were a bit stuck for ideas until... Sand! While I was refilling sandbags to divert the water, Richard came to help Willie dig more trenches closer to the burn to direct the water back into its proper course instead of flowing across the road.
We still have a problem, but it's a lot better than it was. We've diverted them through a field rather than down through our byre.
What's our lesson from today?
Don't move to Skye.
Well, if you do move to Skye, don't get rid of your sandbags.
Yes, I know. The sandbags that I used for mortar to stop the byre from leaking. I said I had to fill these ones very quickly. Well, we were digging lots of little escape trenches for the water.
This is what is causing all of our problems right now. Not the burn that runs through our garden, but the one that is about 20 metres away. That's usually a little tiny trickle. And it's been coming down onto the road instead of in the channel. Never a dull day. So I think it should, if there's an overflow, run along this channel. But it's not. And then further down the road, that channel's not deep enough. So it's all just running across the road onto our property. This is the one that runs through our garden. And that's actually less than it was about 20 minutes ago. Whoosh. Oh. I think our three-pronged attack has worked. The boys dug a few drainage channels up at the top there where it was coming from the stream. And they've bolstered up this side and deepened the channel so it's all running that way instead of across. So now my sandbags don't have much to do anymore, which is a relief. But look at what used to be our drive. Oh my gosh. So this now needs repointing because all that rain that was coming in this way is getting in those holes. And that needs fixing. We've got a lot of jobs to do. By this point, my microphone must have been a bit waterlogged, so there's no volume, but we were just saying thanks again to Richard for helping us out and making sure that the water ingress to the byre had really stopped. We're really hoping it can dry out before we start work on the interior.
Check this out, folks. Normally we used to see tide lines down on the beach. We've got our own one in the garden now. Well, that was fun.
As always, folks, thank you so much for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave us a like or a comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's free, it really helps us out, and it's just a super cool thing to do.
If you want to support us further, you can do so by buying us a coffee over on ko-fi.com.
Or if you want to help us out more long term, you can become one of our amazing patrons over on Patreon, where you get loads of bonus content for helping us out every month.
Links to all of these are in the video description below.
Thanks again for watching, and as always, we will see you
next week. We're leaving our suburban life, moving over the sea to Skye. Are we chasing a dream? I guess in time we will see, when we're living the Skye life. Living the Skye life.
or give us a subscribe. Give us a
If
you
give us a Jaja, what's her name? Jaja Gabor. I ruined that joke.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Jaja Gabor. How do you say that?
I don't know who that is.
How do you say Jaja Gabor? Is that right? I don't know.
Who's that?
She's like a film star. I don't know. Anyway, come on.
Anyway.
And now we've got the membrane sniffed.
But I can't help it.
We'll go again, right.
My nose is running. I can't help it if I sniffed.
Sorry. Right, let's go again. Right. It's day 2 of the shit. No. 3, 2. Right, here we are. It's day whatever it is. And what was it?
Day 2.
Well, day 2 of the byre, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're
Oh,
on
so
a
we'll just say
different
okay,
project.
we'll
We're a
start
different
again.
project.
Start again.
Hey, but it's better arguing, you know.
I'll put that there. It's day 2 of the byre build. Richard's back, approving. Oh, I just spat.
Spit, dude.
Right, let's go again. Right. 3, 2. Jack, no. Don't go jumping over there, crazy spaniel. Jack, please don't go down there. You don't need to go down there. Jack. Good boy. He listens to me sometimes. Right. Jack, stop barking in my ear. Nice like that. Thank you, Richard. Because I don't want to fall off.
Holy moly!
Ah, she's filming in the door. Ow.
Got a face off here, folks. Jack versus the wood pigeon. Pigeon's like, go on then, get up the tree, mate. Goodness gracious, Jack. Right, monkey, that's enough harassing pigeons. Oh, monster.
Oh, that's very close up.
Hi then.
He got new sunglasses, by the way.
Oh yeah, I did, yeah.
No excuses now.
For what? Not having sunglasses?
Yeah. You're always asking me where your sunglasses are.
I thought you meant not to look cool. Cool.
No, you never have that excuse. As always, we will see you next week. You made me do it by myself.
I didn't make
That
you.
was mean.
I didn't know what to do. I normally do the first bit as well. I normally say next week.
That was mean of him, wasn't it? This is stupid.
Yes. If you click on the left icon, you can subscribe to Living the Skye Life. If you click on the right icon, it'll take you back to our very first episode.